Okay. There we go. Alright. Sorry, I was trying to upload the other video and it was making my computer stall really bad, my camera stall really bad. But I decided to wait to upload those and just do this, kick this video out really quick. Anyway, so I told you that I was going to flip-flop some shit on my next video, and this is my next video, on the whole don't worry about what they're looking at, don't worry about what they're watching, don't worry about them looking at beautiful people, whatever. And I feel very strongly about that. I still feel very strongly about that. But here's the deal. This is the reason why, well, some of the reason why I've been engaged 5 times. Okay? Because not a lot of women feel the same way I do about this topic. I've run into so many men who have been involved in a relationship with somebody who was very strict about absolutely not. Very strict about you don't get to look, you don't get to talk, you don't get, I mean, they had them by the fucking balls. Forget the leash. The leash is dragging behind because they're dragging them along by their fucking balls. Okay? From the age of 12, some sooner, some later, men are looking at porn. They're figuring out a way to get their hands on porn. Okay? And it's a lot easier to do nowadays because technology is just, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Sex sells. You know, it really does. And right now is the generations, the years of healthy living. More women are getting in shape. More women are worrying about their health. More men are getting in shape. More men are worrying about their health. More men with the, damn it, bodies. Okay. And more women want to look good and feel good about themselves. And so it's easier to get a hold of this stuff. It's easier to look. It's easier to find people to look at. It's easier to, you know, you can grab your phone, mobile devices. You know, you take this shit back to the 50s and then they're going to think you're like an alien or some shit. But you can walk around with devices that you can play porn quietly in the bathroom or work if you want to. You know, you're going to be able to find it everywhere and anywhere. So why fight it? Why keep fighting it? I know. I feel like a devil's advocate. I really do. But it's the reality. You know, it really is the reality. And if you can figure out a way to duplicate what it is that, you know, your man or your significant other is looking at or watching or whatever, you know, there's a good chance that they're going to want to have more fun with you rather than looking at somebody else or trying to talk to somebody else or trying to, you know, do things like that. Sometimes. Sometimes. Because I can promise you there's a lot of guys that are watching this video and they're watching the last video going, yep, oh, yep, she's got it figured out. She's got her head on straight. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. But let me tell you, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 engagements. Why I am not yet wearing a wedding ring. because I am how I am, because I have an understanding that they have never run into before. I have a stain on my shirt. There's no stuff. Anyway, because they've never run into someone like me before. These guys, anyway. These guys. I know there's women like me. I know there is. They feel the same way I do. But these guys that I've run into have never run into somebody like me before. I had the pleasure of meeting their ex-wives that were dragging them around by their balls for so many years. And I made the mistake of coming into their lives too early. So they had no idea how to react to me. 3 of them out of 5. I lost one. He is waiting for Judgment Day right now. Okay. Sad days. Another one, we're still good friends. You know, he hit the military. He is a lifetimer. I don't wait around for that shit just to find out that that he's waiting for Judgment Day too. So he can be my friend. But as for the other 3, I ran into each one of them way too soon, fresh out of being drug around by their balls by an ex-wife who was like, oh, hell no, you did not just look at that girl. There are insecure women, and then there are these women. Okay. Holy shit. And I made the mistake of finding these 3 guys right after they got out of that. And they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to react to me. They didn't have a full understanding of limitations. So, like I said in the last video, if they want to go play with that, they can go play with that. If they haven't talked to me about it, and honey, you know that I love you, and you know that I want to be with you. But there's this person. After the ring went on my finger, there shouldn't have been any more persons. Okay? When you're in the dating relationship, and before you get into a dating relationship, fulfill your shit. Get it out of the way. You know you've been watching porn since you were 12. So you know what your fantasies are. A lot of guys drag the same damn fantasy since the age of 12. All the way up to adulthood because they never fulfilled it. And then they get into a relationship and then they get married and they're like, damn it. And sometimes an opportunity presents itself. And then what? And then what? They just forget about that? Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, fulfill your fucking fantasies before a ring goes on a finger. Okay? Live. Play. Get it out of the way. And a fantasy is always going to replace a fantasy. So when you get married, make the fantasy about what you can do with your husband, what you can do with your wife. There's plenty of those. But I still want to go skydiving and have sex in the sky, you know? I still have my fantasies. I still have the shit that I want to do, you know? But all of my single person fantasies are out of the way. I'm done. And if you know that you have all these fantasies and you were with somebody for so long that was like, hell no. And you know that you're going to be dragging those fantasies into a new relationship, get the shit taken care of first. 3 of them when they pushed it over the limit. And with the last one, I was a very patient girl. I was a very patient woman. Because I had the pleasure of meeting his ex-wife. Okay? And so I tried to be very understanding about it. But I finally just had to let it go. It's like, listen, you know, you still have a lot of playing you need to do. You still have a lot of shit that you need to get out of the way. And you've cheated on me. I'm sorry. But you gotta go. You know, here you go. Take this with you. It's a little piece of my heart that, you know, here you go. I'm gonna keep the rest. I'm gonna keep the rest. You can have that little piece, though. But I'm gonna keep the rest. Because if you stay with me, it's like you have the whole thing and you're ripping it into shreds. So I would much rather break off this little piece and go, here you go. Please go live your life. Go figure your shit out. But now that I've given you that little piece, please don't think that you can come back. Because I gave you the leniencies that most men don't get. I gave you privileges that most men don't get. Gentlemen, when you run into a woman who is extremely understanding about shit, who has their head on straight, why you want to be fucking that shit up? Stay friends with them. Okay, yeah, you're like, oh, hell no, I'm going to let this shit go. Hell no. I want this. This needs to be mine. I get that. I get that. Ladies, same for you. You know? Be friends with them. Get all the shit out of the way that might offend them. Talk to them. There's a lot of people out there that they're not going to get offended. It's like, you know what? I'm into open relationships. I'm a swinger. I do all this. I don't have a problem with it. What the fuck ever. If they're like that, then cool beans. You know? Peachy keen. But if you know that there's shit that's going to offend them, if you pull this shit off, get it out of the way before you decide that you're going to try and get into a relationship with them. Why take somebody who is fucking awesome, like me? You know, I have to, pat myself on the back. Anyway, why take somebody that's fucking awesome that you think you need to be with that? You want that because that you have never had that before. And you think that would just be a godsend. That'd be awesome. Why take that and fuck it up like that? Find out the limitations. Excuse me. Find out the limitations. And get the shit out of the way before you decide that you're going to get into a relationship with that person. Do yourself a favor. Because that is you doing yourself a favor. That's not even worrying about them. That's you doing yourself a favor. You want that? You want that for forever? Figure out a way to make sure that that's going to stay forever. Because if you go in without all of your shit, not taking care of all of your shit before, you're wasting your time. You're just wasting your time. And theirs.